Hi, in this video we will create banner or flag material. It will have a logo, parameter to add shadow or outline, and wind effect with a connection mask where this wind effect won't be applied. Before starting the tutorial, I would like to mention that if you're interested in the source files from my videos, you can find them on my Patreon. Link in the description of the video. Feel free as well to support us by following Gelos Games on fortnite.com and subscribe to our Gelos Games channel on YouTube where we play games and showcasing our maps and features. And now let's begin. Okay, so first of all, we need textures and we need our banner mesh. So it will be just plain. So for the logo, I just grabbed this from Fortnite GG and they're not actually power of 2, so we will just fix it now. As you can see, it's just only 1K. So that's why our meat map's not working, because it should be power of 2, and we have never stream enabled. So first of all, we will fix power of 2. So now by doing this, again, makes it power of 2. Now we can press on that arrow, it will make it default and enable this. Now you see it's 1024. You can lower if you want. Then same here, power of 2 from texture group and that. If you will see that this error, because it's a never stream, it's enabled, it's still present after you made it power of 2 and enable disabled, you can just need to open it again, click on that never stream, and then click back, like unclick it and then save, and that error will, like warning, will disappear. Okay, is that then you most likely will have your own if flag or banner like shape, the mesh. But if not, then you just need to create. You can't use plane, because basically with a wind effect, we will move vertices, so this points, right? And in a plane, you only have 4. So it won't basically work on this one. So you need more polygons. Even if you will have custom one, like for example from the Blender, then you need to add more polygons, like make sure. So we will create it in here. So with this rectangle, let's drop it in there. Okay. Now in this case, I'm not sure where is up and down, so I will rotate it like this. Yep, fine. But then in here, I don't know where is left, right, where is up and bottom, because as you saw, like it starts horizontally. So I will just guess, I think with, and this is step. Yeah, we'll see. So basically I will create it more like a banner, so it will be 1 meter and 2 meters long, like this. And then if you wish, let's say it will be sideways or upside down, we can change UV's depth. So we will update that. But then super important, it's our subdivision. So let's enable wireframe. So we still see that we have only 4 points. Now, by increasing, you see like we can add more, but we don't want to go super crazy as well, but dense enough to make it work with this wind. If it's not enough as well, basically it won't be like smooth movement. It will be like on a sharp and like low poly movement. I think this should be fine, but we'll see. It's basically twice, because our size, it's twice, right? Like our height is twice longer than our width. And so basically the same in polygon then count. That makes our polygons like square. Okay, so that's fine. Actually, I will save it directly into this banner folder, like so. While I'm in here, let's check our UVs. So I will already create material. Banner, let's create material instance and apply it in there. Now let's open this banner. And quickly, I will just add image, so then I can see if it's upside down or sideways, whatever. As simple as that. Yep, and as you can see, it is really bad. So let's go into UVs. Let's do auto UVs. And it shows us in this checkerboard, but it's really difficult again to understand. In here, material mode, you can change this to original. So now you can see that it's actually this image, not upside down now, but it's really off the limit. And this is because it's basically, again, it's twice longer than in width. So it's basically UV, so it's only covered halfway. You can try this X Atlas, and as you can see, it does a good job. Ignore that it's stretched, but what we want is just to make sure that it fits inside fully. It's upside down, but it's totally fine. It's much easier just to rotate it. Or you can go into transform UVs, select this UVs and just do rotation like that. So basically 90 degrees like that. And so we fixed that. Okay, so it's ready. Just quickly for demonstration, I will add cylinder and it will serve, like as a pole, like maybe this banner is attached to it. This is just for preview, like why we even doing some masks, right? Like why we want some edges not to be movable and some movable with this wind. Like that, fine. Okay, looks fine. Okay, back to our material. We can keep this one. Okay, let's start with a wind. So for the wind, we need texture sample. In here, we want noise, standard noise from the engine. Then we want panner. And a million times we already did this in the videos. So again, texture coordinates, multiply this to control size of the noise size or noise scale. And let's start with one, default one. This can go into coordinates. And then we want as well control that movement. So in here, let's do bend vector. We want separate X and Y. And let's keep it 0 for now. Okay. Now, even if we will apply this, basically we need to connect this into world position offset. But even if we would apply, we won't see much. Let's say, let's do this. Even we can see it in the preview. If it's not moving like even later, make sure you have real time enabled. But as you can see, it's not moving at all because its intensity is really, really tiny. So what we need is just take that and multiply with direction. Yeah, that will be direction. So we have this direction. It's in our X and Y, right? Movement in the UVs, but this is actually for our vertices. So it can move our banner left and right instead of just in the UVs. So we will use color because this will be vector free. It's like because it's X, Y, Z. Let's call it noise, maybe direction axis, or intensity could be as well, because basically with this one we control intensity. It's basically like we could have direction, it could be like this, right? Just one. And then we need to multiply again with a value. So you're creating multiple parameters. Just to simplify, we can just, instead of 1, we can set it to 40, and that will be n direction and intensity. So yeah, we don't need that. And that's it. Yeah, so let's connect them. And you can see that it's already looks like that. and it's actually not moving because we not set our panner speed. And it looks already like this. And so I set in X, but I actually didn't look direction. So basically you need to look into your gizmo, right? And let's open material instance. And we can play with this movement. You can see it's like moving. It's hard to tell in what direction it's moving. I think like it's left to right, this one. At least it should. Yeah, and this one up and down. You can mix both. But it's again, it looks really bad because it's too tiled too much, even as we're using just only one default. So what we need to do is just lower like that, and it's already start to be better. And it's actually to make it look much easier to like basically to debug. We can connect this into base color. Yeah, it shouldn't glow much. Yeah, it will be red. Red is fine because we're multiplying with a color. It would be nice to see just black and white. I actually let's try just red channel. Yeah, it will be black and white. Or actually, yeah, we're not doing much in here. We just intensity for the vertex. We can grab this one direct, and that will be same. Basically, what I want to see, it's like this. See this noise. So what it does, it's again, if that would be horizontally and not vertically, so it means white, it goes up more. So in our case, it goes more forward, and black, it stays or goes back, right? That's why we have this. And then when it's panning, depends on the speed, and it will look like it's actually wind. So if it's too fast, we can lower that like this. We can again lower maybe it's too much like that. And then in this noise direction, you see I put 40. It's basically how much this bumping goes out. Maybe this is too crazy. Then you can try lower that like that. It's already better. As you can see, this goes to the right and definitely too much. Here we go. Yep, now looks pretty good. Now we can replace with our this one, or maybe just single color for now. I won't even make it as a parameter. Let's just make a color purely just to see properly without this noise. Like that. And let's make it two-side. Like this. And now you can see that how it's moving and pretty cool. And then we have the issue, right? If we want to say that this band is actually connected here on the top, and especially here then on the side, it's actually not working, right? So it's fully disconnected and doesn't look believable. So let's fix that. Okay. So let's keep this. Let's actually move our instance there. Okay. So now let's use our texture coordinates. So we will mask based on texture coordinates. We know that it fully fills from left to right and from top to bottom. So it fully fills that area from 0 to 1 in UVs. And what we then can do, we can use a component mask. So red is horizontal and green, it's vertical. So let's start with maybe vertical. So it looks like this. And then if we will connect this into color, you can already see here how it looks, right? So it's again, when it's black, it won't be affected, whereas white, it will be affected. We can already create our root node, and let's call it maybe connection connected here. And now in here, we can just multiply with that mask, connect like that. Let's preview. And you can see that top, now it's not moving, but actually bottom, it's moving. Now it looks much more like accurate how that would be with a banner. Let's keep this one and add more stuff into here. So now, yeah, maybe that's totally fine, but maybe we want to control this gradient. So it's a good thing to add smooth step. And let's for now connect mask in there as well, so we can always preview it. And now let's create minimum and maximum. So it will be connection mask, maybe some gradient minimum, really long name. Connection mask, gradient maximum. And again, let's set to default and preview. We won't see much difference. And that's good. Now we can play with these parameters. So you can see we can make it really small mask. And I'm talking not about white, I'm talking about black. So this connection only works just there. And then from here, it already applies this wind. And we can make it like that even. That won't look really accurate. But let's say if we move, let's keep this one on 0 and then bring this closer to the 0. So you can see that it still looks like a connected, but it's already moving from the top. Maybe let's leave it maybe on 0.2. Looks pretty good. Now, let's say I want mask on the left side. And then what if, so basically like, as you can see, I have and on the left and on the top. What if you have only on the left side, you want to choose one time on the left, maybe another time you want on the top, third time on the both sides, right? So we need to add this feature so then you can control instead of like every time creating different material. So for this, let's then create another mask. So let's on the bottom will be G and then on the top will be red. So we need only two because again, it's UVs. It's only two coordinates, vector 2. So we have that. And because we're working with a black now mask instead of white, we care about black more. We can connect them with a minimum. So minimum grabs a darkest from both. If I will preview it, you see how it looks like now both masks there. So basically what we're doing, this is side, as you can see, this is top, and this is both. We have now 3 masks in this location. So let's use switch. And switch works with an integer, basically with round number, if you don't know. Let's create that controller. So it will be connection mask coordinates. And we have 3, and it starts with a 0, so 0, 1, 2. So let's set maximum value to 2. And then in the description, we can write explanation. So will be 0, will be X, then hold Shift Enter, will be 1, it's Y, Shift Enter, and 2, it will be XY. And now enter. Now you see you have it in here. And we can connect it like this. And connect this and there. Now, let's add more inputs. So 2 more inputs. Let's expand. And in here we say it's X, Y, and XY. So move it like that. So this is our X, and let's make it default as well. Then this is our Y, and this is our buff. Just like that. Let's save and see. Okay, mask like in this inverted. Interesting. I could invert that in the material, but then it's easier. Just do this, right? For now. But yeah, you could just do one minus in here, right? And that would invert. Okay, like that. So by default, we set it on the left side. Now in the material instance, why we wrote a description. So look, if I will hover over that now parameter, it actually explains 0x, y, it's 1, and then 2, it's xy. So it's a explanation for someone, and then it won't go above 2. So you can see that's 0, it's on the left, 1, it's on the top, and 2, we have both. Cool stuff. Now, if I will look close in here, so now both left and top attached and not applied wind on them. Pretty cool stuff. Okay. Now, final step, let's add logo. So basically have background color, add logo, and then shadow and outline. So we can keep this one and create parameter. It will be background color. Okay. Now, actually, this says we don't need this for color, so we can keep it there. We could even, without this mask, we could directly connect it there if you want. Okay. Let's start with just adding logo, and then we will add outline. So we need texture coordinates. Then we need multiplied. We need append vector, because we want control again separately x and y. So it's icon or logo, scale x, scale y. Again, default 1, 1. Let's actually preview. So it definitely won't work, and we don't need that anymore there. So as you can see here in the preview, because our plane is square and it's not rectangled, it looks good. But then in here, as you can see, it's actually stretched. So we need to adjust it. Let's move it in there, because it's again our height. It's twice longer, like bigger. So again, this is horizontal, and this is our this vertical. So if I will set it to 2, you can see now it looks fine. It's proportional, but we have now two things. First of all, we have doubles, right? Because it's again, of course, how many I will put, so many it will appear, but I don't want that. Select texture sample, and in the sample source, changes to clump. And it removes that duplicate. So it's one thing, it's sorted, but it's again, maybe I want it somewhere in the center, right? It's not like as I can control or anything. So we need to do this. So let's add or subtract, doesn't matter. Again, append vector, because we want to control them separately. And it will be icon offset x, icon offset y. Leave 0 by default. And let's connect into UV. Nothing changed because we're not applying that. And now it's on the Y because we have a change number on the Y. As you can see, if I will move it, no. And yes, super simple math because this one, it's a 2, it's twice bigger than X. So it means minus 0.5 will be perfect center in here. But then again, you can offset with wherever you like. And it definitely doesn't look good because it's almost touching edges. We can scale with same these parameters. So maybe, let's see. Yeah, it should be maybe like 0 0.2, 0 0.3, something like that. And this one, we know again, it should be doubled. So if this is 1.3, so this is 2.6, like this. Now we need offset. It looks good. Okay, now let's add background color because this one is actually from the texture itself. But texture, in the texture we have, let's move it there so you can see it better. So in the texture we have alpha. So we can use that to control where is the background and where is not. So we can use lerp, connecting icon into B, background into A, and then alpha into alpha, and in there. And just simple as that, you can see that now our background is blue and we can control to any color. Okay, that's done. Finally, let's add some shadow. Yeah. So to do that, like in a simple way, we can just duplicate this. And actually, if you would want later to update this icon, so then you need to convert that into parameter, or like you have two options, or you creating parameters and they named exactly the same. Then basically when you in material instance, you will input icon, it will be same. Or you can create this convert to texture object. So this is your original image. Yeah, so you see you have input in here, texture and texture, right? So you can keep this one not as a parameter, but as normal node, so basic constant. But this one you actually now can convert into parameter. And this will be your icon or icon texture, whatever you call it. So it's like that. Let's grab again our icon and input in there. Now from here, we can input into texture and into texture. So now we will update only one this, and it will update, like you can connect even to more texture samples and it will update in both of them. Because we want them to be similar, not similar, exactly same. Okay, so we have this. What we want in this one is basically make where is the icon, not background, but where is the icon to make it black. But at the same time, we want offset because we want it to look as a shadow. So a little bit to the side. So we will just use simple math. We already know position, basically offset, because what we want, let's say we have the shadow. When with this one, we offsetting the icon, we want shadow to move together. We don't want every time then change in shadow like that. You can just set it offset one time and then it will change all the time. So for that, for this one, we can grab all that because we already have in scale and all this addition. So basically it's offset. So we can grab all this. And then in here, we can get, again, append vector because basically in this one, we have vector 2 because it's X and Y already created right in there. So instead of making a lot of kind of like cows here, so for example, I could make X minus X, like X subtract X, then Y subtract Y, and then append. It create like, again, too many of these nodes for no reason. We can have just append and do this separately. So let's do this icon shadow offset X, and icon shadow offset Y. Let's leave for now on the 0, or let's maybe do some small number, just at least so we can see it. And it should be enough, and then we connect into UVs. So from here, let's take the background, let's disconnect it, and we need another lerp. So for this one, background goes into A, then in the B, we set this to 0. Yeah, we just, we're not doing anything in here, so just 0, it will be black. And then into alpha, we're grabbing alpha of the image, okay? And now this goes into A in there. And you can already see that we created shadow. Simple as that. Okay, so now let's come here and you will see how it works. So there's our shadow and it looks like that. So for example, we can set it on the left side, maybe like that, right? Maybe like this. Looks totally fine. But now we have not scale, sorry, not actually even scale. Look, if I will scale it, shadow moves together. Actually, I don't want to scale it, right? So keep it like that. But it moves together, and same with offset. So now if I'm moving this icon, shadow moves together. Cool. And same vertically. So now let's add outline to this one. So let's put that back there. So for the outline, let's think. So basically for the outline, we can't use this scale any longer because what we want control scale, because like now we're grabbing this scale and shadow scales together with icon. To make it outline, we want actually take the scale of this, but actually add a little scale of our own, right? So what I want to do is create again switch. So then we can have an outline and we can have this shadow, like switch between of them, like both of them. Okay. So for this, let's do scale around point. Yeah, this one. Okay. So we want this to be used after subtract. So basically we need this, we need offset, we need offset. Actually, do we want offset for this? No, we don't. We basically want it to expand in all directions equally. So we don't want to move it for the shadow. So shadow we will keep. Let's see, I want to be more organized. So instead of like making chaos in here, really don't like these lines. Let's do parameters, like reroute the nodes actually. So let's this be just icon and then connect that into icon and this into icon. So it will be our input. Already looks better. And then for here, we can create maybe shadow offset. For now, let's add it in there. But we will want a switch to control that. But it still looks much better now. Cool. So we have that. Now, let's add here as well. So this will be our, this is main icon UVs. So let's call it like that. So maybe main UVs or icon UVs. Again, call it so you will understand. So this basically input its main, like, because this one is just outline on or shadow. So that's why I call it just main. So we have that. And as I said, like we need offset and we need scale and basically that. So now we can grab it in here. So this is our main UVs. I don't remember this one actually. Interesting. But yeah, we want this texture scale. Let's try with a one parameter, because in here we're controlling this difference, right? Scale. So in here it should go in all directions equally. So let's just try same. So let's call it icon, outline, maybe thickness. Keep it on 1. And for now, let's connect into UVs instead of that offset, shadow offset. Let's see. Here we go. Yep, it's working. So we have our outline. Simple as that. And as you can see, number is really tiny. So 1, it's normal size of the icon. And then you need to go a little bit beyond 1, but not crazy. But it's up to you again. Feel free to do whatever you want. So we have now outline. And I want to set switch in a similar fashion as I did with that mask for the 3 inputs. 0, it will be nothing. Then 1 will be, let's say, shadow, and 2 will be outline. So let's have 2 inputs. So this will be with nothing. Yeah, let's call it maybe none or something. Yeah, let's call it none. Then this will be our shadow, and this is outline. And then parameter, scalar parameter, and to control maybe icon extras, again 2 as a maximum. So then default one, because we can't pass 0. Let's try, but like close to 0, like this. Okay. And then, so this will actually, yeah, I need at least constant, because I need a first input and default one. Like this. Then we have our shadow. Oops, and yeah, it's gone. So outline. And this will be outline. Now again, in here in the description, we will explain that. So 0 is none. Then 1, shadow. 2, outline. And everything gone because we set it to 0. Now that's 1, we have shadow. 2, we have outline. So for example, again, I can offset, works. And if we're setting it to outline, works. Perfect. And we can change first color. And with this noise direction axis, if you remember, it's actually intensity as well. I can set 50. And still looks pretty good. Just don't go too crazy. And to more, again, smooth that would look, you can see that sometimes you have this kind of like a shadow triangles. And this is because of the polygon count. If you want more smooth, that add more, basically topology, more polygons. Cool. show last time the parameters. And for example, you can see that it works with a different icon. So let's add a different icon. And as you can see, it's automatically works with outline and shadow and none, right? So you can just apply your texture like that and it will work. Okay, cool. So hopefully this will be interesting for you to create. Add again something interesting to your maps, so it looks more dynamic instead of everything static. But yeah, overall, this is actually how you're creating in Wind. This stuff, it's super simple and it's really often used in this kind of like materials like a banners, yeah, and flags. For something like foliage, it would be more complex than this, but I want to cover that in the future videos. But yeah, for this one, it's enough. So hopefully you will find this video helpful and have fun with that. And as a reminder, if you're interested in the source files from all my videos, you can find them on Patreon, link in the description of the video. Have fun. I would like to say thank you to my all supporters. I appreciate your support. Thank you for your generosity. You can get project files on my Patreon or just buy me a coffee to support me. If you're interested in learning more about UEFN materials, coding, widget UI, and more, you can join our growing Discord community where we like to discuss UEFN tips and tricks, showcase our work, and help each other. You can find link in the description or in the channel header.